Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Ben Bullock with Together SC, and today we are talking about all of the wonderful member benefits we have for our nonprofit members as part of the power of connection. Um, so just a little background on Together SC. We were founded back in 1996 with 67 charter member nonprofit organizations. But back then, we were the South Carolina Association of Nonprofit Organizations. Many folks for a long time knew us as SCANPO. But in 2017, we broadened the mission to unite, strengthen, and advance South Carolina's nonprofit and philanthropic sector. And we adopted the tagline of Allies for Good because we wanted to make sure that the work that we were doing and the folks we were trying to work with encompass the whole of the social good sector. And that's not just nonprofits, although it is mostly nonprofits. We wanted to be able to bring everyone together who's trying to make South Carolina a better place. And so we changed our name to Together SC. And um, we have been holding an annual conference, which we now call the Nonprofit Summit, since those early days in 1997. And our Nonprofit Summit now brings together between 600 and 800 nonprofit and philanthropic and corporate allies every year. We had just under 800 people at the Nonprofit Summit in February down in Charleston. And next year, February 25th to 27th, 2025, we'll be back in Columbia, and we'll be making our legislative lobby day as a part of that nonprofit summit as well. We're back up to 800 plus member organizations from organizations that work with animal rights in the environment, that work with education, mental health, um, uh, and everywhere in between, human services and everywhere in between. So if your organization is a 501c3 organization and you're otherwise invested in doing good in South Carolina, you can join Together SC. So here's who's on the staff. If you've been with us for a while, or if you're just joining us, you might see some new faces here. Our president and CEO is Madeline McGee, and she is based down in Charleston. I'm Ben Bullock, and I'm based here in Columbia. Destiny Hester, who's on the call, is our membership and development coordinator, and she is based up in Greenville. Brooke Robertson, our director of marketing and communications, is based up in Spartanburg. And Desmone White, our events and program manager, is based here in Columbia as well. So our team is spread out all across the state. And so as y'all are having events, as y'all are leading gatherings, let us know and we can try to have somebody there. But Together SC is governed by a board of directors that are drawn from nonprofit leaders from all across the state. And you see, we have 14 amazing board members here. Our current board chair is Paige Stevenson. She's the president and CEO of United Way of the Piedmont. And next year, our board chair will be Dr. Sean Edwards, formerly the chief diversity officer at the Citadel, but she's now in private practice as a human resources and DEI consultant. And she'll be our board chair next year. We've got some new board members coming on in July. And we're finishing up the nominations process, so stay tuned. We'll be releasing the slate of new board members at the annual meeting in May. So here's what you can expect from us at Together SC. Our vision is that we see a future in which South Carolina's nonprofits and their allies are integral players in successfully building vibrant, equitable communities. We know that it takes many different people from many different walks of life working on solving the many different problems in our society, and that's the role that South Carolina's nonprofit organizations and their allies for good fit in our society. And so we want to make sure that you, as our nonprofit leaders, are at the best of your capacity in order to meet these challenges that are facing our society, and so that we can all work together in building vibrant and equitable communities. And so for that, our mission is that we strengthen, unite, and advance South Carolina's nonprofit and philanthropic community. And we're doing that by helping South Carolina's network of nonprofit and philanthropic leaders understand, adapt to, and influence our changing landscape. That's our strategic positioning. Trying to move the things around so we can see the screen. Our core values, this is how we do this. These are the ways in which we work. We believe first and foremost in partnering. We always work in collaboration. We're never an organization to go out and do things all by ourselves. We're always working with our members and our partners to make things happen, to put on programs, to do learning, to take collective action. We always partner with other people and other organizations. We believe in excellence. We encourage our mutual accountability within ourselves, within our staff, among our board, among our members, and we strive to excel in the work that we're doing. We believe in equity. We embody and champion diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is always a constant journey to the goal, right? And so we're on that journey just as many of you are on, and we're walking on that journey together. And we believe in reimagining. We are always looking to innovate in the face of change. The pandemic was a real lesson about that, and that got added to our core values around that time. And we believe in social impact. We believe in measurable positive impact, and we always try to show you how we are doing our work in a measurable way. So, why does membership matter? You know, Together SC was started back in the 90s as a way to bring nonprofit leaders together to share resources, to share ideas, to share knowledge and skills, to lift each other up together. And the way we do that, the way you do that, is being a part of the network. Together SC is not just your typical trade association. It's not just that our staff does things and puts on programs for the members, but that the members come together and work to build each other up. And we do that in many different ways. The Nonprofit Summit is one of those. Our peer networks are another way that we do that all together. In order to do that, we've got to have a membership. And so you're joining Together SC and investing in this network and participating in this network is what makes membership in Together SC work. So our peer networks, we've got, I've lost count of how many peer networks we have now. We used to have 7, but I think we're actually closer to 8 or 9 now. Our Advocacy Allies peer network, currently chaired by China Phillips at the Sisters of Charity Foundation. They are advocacy and public policy staff across our member organizations, and they work together to strengthen each other's advocacy and public policy and lobbying capacity. So if you've got staff who are working in that direction, you should encourage them to join the Advocacy Allies peer network. We also have our Black Nonprofit Leaders Network. That's one of our oldest peer networks. It sort of is what gave us the idea to start the peer networks in the first place. We had a gathering of African-American leaders at the Nonprofit Summit, tabletop discussions, and that group was so large that they had to pull another table over to fit everybody around the table. And that the idea that came out of that was, hey, we need to have more gatherings like this. And so the Black Nonprofit Leaders Group was created in order to create that space. And Tremise Carter is currently the chair of that leadership team. And she's helped by Heather Singleton, and Des Monet is serving as the staff liaison there. Our Consultant Collaborative is a pretty unique peer network. They are actually a whole member category, right? These are folks who are consultants working in private practice who pretty much work exclusively or primarily with nonprofit organizations. And they know that by building their own capacity, they can then serve and help you all the better. And so our consultant collaborative is currently led by Patrick Jinks. Dr. Patrick Jinks is the chair, and Madeline is the staff liaison for that. They're actually just going to announce a new consultant code of conduct that will be effective on July 1st. All consultant collaborative members will have to sign on to this code of conduct in order to participate. Then we have our development peer network. This is for fundraising and grant writing and development staff. This is co-chaired by Bryson Young at the Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired and Brett Wadford at the Center for Heirs Property Preservation. So they get together pretty often actually, and have some networking events and learning events on the calendar. And then we have our equity peer network. These are folks who are working on diversity, equity, and inclusion in their organizations. Work. Our newest peer network is our marketing and communications peer network. Brooke Robertson, our director of marketing and comms, is the staff liaison for that. And Abby Harwell, who is the director of communications at the United Way of the Piedmont, is chairing that. And then, of course, my favorite, the Operations Peer Network, chaired by Jeff Fleming, who's the COO at Palmetto Project. We get together and talk about issues relating to finance, human resources, general organizational operations and policy and structure. So if you've got staff that are working in that range, I hope you'll encourage them to join the Operations Peer Network. And then last but certainly not is the Volunteer Admin Alliance. This used to be a separate organization called the South Carolina Association of Volunteer Administrators, but they joined in with Together SC and became a peer network. And that is currently chaired by Jeremy Franklin, who's the manager of volunteer services at DJJ, and Mary Del Hayes is the facilitator. So you see, there's a little something for everyone here. Learning opportunities, networking opportunities, professional development and capacity building opportunities through these peer networks. And so as you're thinking about how can you and your team, because this membership includes executive directors, but it also includes all of your staff and your board members as well. How can these folks get involved? The peer networks are a great way for folks to get involved and build their capacity and professional development. What I haven't mentioned in here, in case any executive directors in the room are feeling left out, we have the executive director and CEO listserv, because some time ago our CEO said, "Hey, we're too busy. We don't need to get together and have webinars and things like that. We just want a place where we can email each other and bounce ideas and understand that it's lonely at the top. So occasionally commiserate." And so the ED and CEO listserv is there for you to connect with your peers and your colleagues in other organizations. And so if you're an executive director or CEO or president, and you're not in that group, let us know and we can get you connected with that. And all of these peer networks have their own, well, we were calling them listservs, but they're really discussion groups. And so each peer network has its own discussion group that they can join, your staff can join and be a part of. So one of the key ways that you can engage with Together SC virtually is the member compass. This is when you log in at togethersc.org. The member compass is the first thing you see. This is your dashboard, your way to connect and access other parts of your member benefits. You'll see here at the top, you've got a little badge that tells you, what organization are you connected with, and how long your organization has been a member of Together SC, and when your membership is next up for renewal. You can access our webinar library. You can access our job center, jobs.togethersc.org. You can access Board Strong, which is our new board member recruitment platform. Uh, um, and Alt tab over to, there we go, the Together SC web. So if we go on the Together SC web, like, how do I get back to Member Compass? You can always go and click on your name in the top right corner, and that will take you to Member Compass. And you can see, oh, hey, if your membership is up for renewal, you'll see a big alert that says, hey, you've got an outstanding invoice, and you can pay that and any other invoices like for learning events and things like that. You can those online right there, easy peasy. You can also set up auto pay for your membership. You can leave a credit card on membership renewal portal, and you'll get a 10% discount on your dues next year. You set that up. You can also see what events that you've signed up for or currently signed up for in the past and currently signed up for in the future. You can also edit your profile. And here's something important. We don't, our system for organizations to log in. Organizations don't have logins, but people do. And so each individual person in your organization own a login account with their organizational email. And so select folks, usually the executive director or the finance director, depending, have access to edit the organization record. And we'll talk about that in a second. But when you log in and you go to edit, you can't change your name. But if you do need to change your name, like if there's misspellings, just let us know and go and edit that in the back end of the system. But your email address and your contact information, you can set what peer networks you're a part of. How am I not in the operations peer network? What happened there? As you can see, really easy for me to just add that in. You can set any other kind of things like your Facebook, LinkedIn profiles, and reach out. You can your picture that you have. And yes, I know that is the prettiest picture that I have. Isn't that a shame? You can update any on here. It does have a little bit of the LinkedIn profile aspects to it. But when you're just click this save icon over here in the corner and it will save. Now access to edit the organization record, you can see that under and the reason why you got plural here is because Together SC's profile is complicated, but you'll just see one profile. And you can edit the organization's record much the same as you would edit your personal record. And even add your organization's logo on there so the other members can see you in our directory. And if you add to the organization record, then you can also invite other people in your organization to create their own accounts. And it's really, and you can see who else is currently participating in see through your organization. And you may look at one and say, that person's not even here anymore. And you can just click remove person and their account will be disconnected. But if you want to add another staff person, you just click add person and you can enter their name in here and you can enter in their email. You can enter in other, but email address are all that are required and get an email inviting them to join Together SC under your organization's membership. So that's Member Compass. That's sort of our tool for accessing a good number of your member benefits. Just another note here really on the Career Center. If you want to access the Career Center, you can go directly to jobs.togethersc.org if you like. Also access it through the Member Compass. As you can see, separate website, even though it looks like our website. Um, you'll just log in, you'll click sign in here and ask you, are you a Together SC member? And of course you are. And if you're logged in at togethersc.org already, all you have to do is click, yes, I am a member, and the Job Center will automatically log you in, and you can post a job on the Job Center. And for posting a job, our members get a code that they can use once a year, and that resets on July 1st for a basic. My internet connection is unstable, so I'm hoping y'all heard a good chunk of what I just said, because apparently my internet connection is not the best. But you can post one free basic $49 post per year. And you can there's a coupon code that you can find on the website that you have to log in to get. And you can use that coupon code to make that post for free. But there are other bells and whistles. If you want to post national, if you're national search, you can pay a little bit extra for that, and get a premium post that sits up there for 60 days, that gets cross-posted into other job boards and other job networks as well. But once you post that, you can then receive applications through this job board, manage the applicants, communicate with them, all through jobs.togethersc.org. So some of our member benefits, just to run through here. Let me get back to the PowerPoint. Show you. PowerPoint. PowerPoint. There we go. So our comp and benefit, our first comp and benefit study we published in a while was published in 2022. Comp report we'd done in some time. And our members that and purchase that for $5, like 300 something dollars if you're not a member. If you participate in and member, then you can download that report for free. So if you need help accessing that, just let us know. But otherwise, you can purchase it on the website for $75. We're currently on process data for 2003 benefits study. We benefit study in December and in January of this year. And we're getting the data back, processing that to be that soon. A more comprehensive deep dive on employments. You can make sure the benefits that your staff measure up to what's happening in the rest of the sector. And then we'll be conducting compensations later on. I think later on fall of 2024, but we may have to push that back on. The big victory on employee benefits and member benefits in the last couple of years, Association Health Plan. When ScanPo was founded back in the 90s, one of the key strategic objectives was to create an association health plan. The regulations were horrendously complicated. The government doesn't really like fees all that much, but there was some regulatory in around 17 that made it easier, and finally made an association health plan feasible for South Carolina nonprofits. So we partnered with United Ways, and we partnered with Marsh Agency and Blue Cross Blue Shield to create a new association healthcare plan for South Carolina's 501c3 nonprofit organizations. And 2 years in, over 500 employees covered, as well as their families, with 33 participating organizations. The plan has 18 different medical plan options. There are 11 preferred provider plans, classical traditional insurance plans with low to mid-range deductibles, 5 health savings account eligible plans. And we have 2 health incentive plans where if you take certain steps like regular doctor's visits and other preventative measures, then you can buy down your deductible. We've also got 2 dental plan options. One is sort of a regular plan, and the other is an enhanced plan for your kids. And then, of course, we've got the vision plan through iMed, very affordable. I got my glasses through it. These options are available for our members if you're interested in exploring the healthcare plan. You can reach out to David Slade, who's our broker, um, and he can help walk you through the process. It does take a little bit of time from start to finish. So I would plan most 5 months the initial conversation to going live with the plan. And if proposal back from Blue Cross Blue Shield and it's a little bit out of your range or what you were expecting, please don't be discouraged. This plan is getting better all the time. As we get more organizations and more employees in, we can get the pricing to be more competitive, and we're already starting to see that. It's the fastest growing association at Blue Cross Blue Shield right now. So if you're interested in that, let's talk and we can get you started on that process of getting a quote. We've got some other member benefits that are focused on employee retention and recruitment. The AHP is a big part of that. And what else is all that is term life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment, short-term and long-term disability coverage from Mutual of Omaha. And that is through the AHP, so you can talk to David Slade about that as well. We were able to cover these benefits for our staff for a very affordable price. And so you can do that at Omaha. And then we've got fee-waived retirement options from Mutual of America. If you don't have a retirement plan or you're thinking the admin fees for your retirement plan are just too much, talk with Blake Meharg at Mutual of America, and he can run some options by you. We're exploring creating a multi-employer welfare arrangements similar to the health plan, but for retirement. We're exploring those options right now and hoping that maybe we can roll that in together so that we can have a consolidated retirement plan for our nonprofit members that will save you on doing the filings at the end of the year. We've also got an employee assistance program. We've partnered with First Son EAP to bring that benefit to you. And I'm hoping that perhaps our rep from First Son is on the call, but I'm not seeing her. So, but Lucy Henry is our representative with First Son. And the EAP is an interesting, very affordable employee benefit. You can get EAP coverage for your staff at $3 per employee per month, and we just bill that annually. So that's really a very much a set it and forget it kind of benefit that you can offer to your employees, very affordable. And that allows your employees to access up to 3 counseling sessions, and then they can get a discounted rate on more. And then these are mental health counselors, but these can also be life coaches, career coaches, financial planners. I think there's even pet sitting in there as well. So any kind of things like that that your employee may need that just you don't think of as a typical employee benefit, that's a part of the EAP. So if you're interested in exploring that with Lucy, there's a sign up form on the website. Then also, did you know that if you have a student loan that was originated after 2007 and you work for 10 years in the nonprofit sector, then you can have those student loans forgiven. We have got a partnership with a program called Savvy to help your employees who may have student loans, help them manage those student loans, make sure that they're making their monthly payments and that they're on track to apply for forgiveness once they make their 120th payment. I had my student loans forgiven just this past fall after working 10 years in the nonprofit sector. And I can tell you what a huge relief it is. And it's part of why I chose a career in the nonprofit sector. And so now I am student loan debt free, and your staff can be as well. So other member benefits, going back to the website here. Alt-Tab and website, and just to make sure we haven't forgotten anything, you can always find the current list of member benefits if you go under the Join and Connect menu and just click on Member Benefits. And you can see what is all included in your membership in Together SC. We've already gone over a lot of the employee benefits. I mentioned Board Strong, which is our board member recruitment tool. We just got started on that. You can create an account on Board Strong and post openings for your board of directors for candidates to consider and apply for. It's a bit like a dating service, and we've got a separate webinar on Board Strong. And then also a member benefit is a board chair welcome call. If you've got a new board chair who's coming in and maybe isn't quite so acclimated to the nonprofit world, we know that relationship between the executive director and the board chair is one of the most important relationships in an organization. You can schedule a call with Madeline McGee, our president and CEO, and she will talk with you and your board chair about how to set good mutual expectations and goals and get that relationship off to a good start. Also, our bi-weekly newsletter, For Good Connections. If you're not receiving For Good Connections, let us know and we'll double check your email address, but we just sent it out yesterday. It comes out every other Tuesday. And it's chock full of the latest news and information about what's going on in the nonprofit sector, as well as potential funding and grant opportunities. If you've got news that you want to share with the network, you can submit. There's a form on the website right here that you can submit that news and we'll post it. You can also add the proud member decal to your website and let everybody know that you're a member of Together SC, your statewide network for charitable organizations. Participating in the peer networks, as we mentioned before. And, when in doubt, you can always call on your Together SC staff. Our phone numbers are on the staff directory on the website. You can also submit an email on the contact form, and our team will get back in contact with you and help you find the answer to your questions. The free job posting on the Career Center, you can find the coupon code actually, you can find the coupon code, not there, but if you go under using the Career Center here, let's see, did I just open a new tab that I can't see? Ta-da! Okay, so if you go to using the Career Center here, this is where the code is for your free job post. And also instructions on how to use and access the Job Center are on there as well as some tips on how to get the best candidates. All right, going back to member benefits here. The Nonprofit Summit, of course, our members get a discounted rate to attend the Nonprofit Summit, and the summit is mostly our members anyway. So, plan for your staff, you and your staff to attend the summit and network and collaborate with nonprofit leaders from all across the state of South Carolina. Our member directory is also available if you're logged in as a member. We've got tons of learning opportunities throughout the year, not just the Nonprofit Summit. If you join the Advocacy Allies peer network, you can also receive the Advocacy Allies newsletter that comes out, I think, monthly, that lets you know what's going on in the public policy world as it affects nonprofits. We also put some things in For Good Connections if they're particularly important. You can connect with consultants if you're looking for a consultant to help with some work in your organization. You can look up at our consultant collaborative and connect. You can look up the directory and connect with our consultants there. We still publish guiding principles and best practices, which is a great checklist to make sure that your organization's policies and procedures are up to date. As we say, it's a journey. As you're looking at guiding principles and best practices, look for ways in which you can align to it, but not everything may apply to everyone. We also have a arrangement with the Association of Fundraising Professionals. The 3 chapters here in South Carolina extend their member rate to Together SC members. we've got some member discounts from the National Council of Nonprofits, as well as board source. Ooh, some of those are a little out of date though. We need to update that. And of course, as a nonprofit member of Together SC, you get to vote for the Together SC board. And we'll be posting who the new candidates are at the annual meeting on May 15th. And then we'll have the election online shortly thereafter. So that covers most of the other member benefits. We're always on the lookout to enrich and improve the member benefits offerings for our members. So keep checking in with us. We always have new things coming up. So here's some upcoming events, upcoming learning events that we've got going on in the coming weeks. We've got a webinar on voter turnout on April 10th. We've also, well, the webinar on deferred compensation is being postponed. So stay tuned for the new date for that. But if you're interested in learning more about deferred compensation plans as a part of your retirement planning strategy, that's a great webinar to sign up for. Making sure that your digital content is accessible to folks who use accessibility tools in order to interact with the online world. We've got a webinar coming up on that on April 15th. And then on April 24th is our State House Day. We'll have all of our allies for good participating, attending at the State House, and just reminding the legislature that nonprofits are an important part of our society and that they should remember us every now and then. And we'll also have the Governor's Volunteer Awards given by Governor McMaster, hopefully, at the State House that morning on April 24th. So hope you can join us for that. We'll have a lovely reception at Bourbon in Columbia in the evening with our legislative allies. Then on May 8th, we've got a webinar on maximizing board engagement in advancement and development. So if you've got trouble getting your board members to make those asks, tune in and learn how some of our top tier organizations are wrangling their board members into fundraising. May 15th is the Together SC annual membership meeting. That'll be 8 a.m. to 9:15. We'll report to you on how we're doing and how we're serving you and give you some updates on what's happening in the future. Then on May 22nd, we will have a webinar about our association health plan. So if you're more interested in that health plan, stay tuned and sign up on May 22nd. And then June 12th, we've got a webinar on AI for nonprofits. That was a very popular session at the Nonprofit Summit this past year. So we're making it a webinar and bringing that to you for your edification. And of course, then we'll probably take a break. We tend not to have events in July because everyone's on vacation, but we'll announce the fall schedule of programming before too terribly long. Okay, we've reached the end. So I thank you all very much for listening to all of that. I know it was a bit of an info dump. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.